Yesterday on the channel, I told you all about a breakout that was happening in the altcoin market right now. And I told you that if this specific breakout was successful, it could be the beginning for a fantastic move to the upside for altcoins. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what is going on since that video, how things are developing, and what you need to be watching very closely. Because something is happening with that breakout right now that's so important, and you need to watch it so close, basically all day today. And so, with that said, listen, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, looking at the general crypto market today, we can see it's a rather neutral day. On the 24-hour, something's up, something's down. We got Doge basically break neutral, looking like a stable coin today. We got Cardano up, we got Solana down. And this translates out to crypto bubbles. I mean, you can see some things like HBAR, FT, and Aptos up. Then you can see things like SPX, Pingu, and Beam down. And that's pretty much consistent throughout the entire market. Some things are up, some things are down. And honestly, I do like days like today, if I'm going to be super honest with you. And the reason that I say that is quite simply because after a day like yesterday, which was a very important day, we saw Bitcoin break back over $100,000. We saw a ton of inflows. We saw total to breakout, which we're going to talk about here in a second. After a day like that, I like to see just a relaxed day, a calm day, a reset day, because it takes a ton of momentum. It takes a ton of strength, a lot of inflows to be able to get breakouts of that nature. And after you see that big strength that we use, we don't want to see it just crash immediately. No, we want to see it just relax, cool down, and build a foundation necessary to be able to continue that move. Now, speaking of that, let's now talk a little bit about kind of just having an idea of what's going on in the market. Let's shift gears a little bit and let's actually talk about what this chart is that you need to be watching today, because again, guys, it's extremely important. So as you remember in yesterday's video, what we were talking about was the fact that total 2, which is simply just the total market cap of altcoins. So you can also look at it in the sense of it's the total market cap of crypto minus Bitcoin. Well, it recently broke out of this descending channel that it had been in for over a month. I told you all though, if this breakout is successful, although it's not going to be immediate, there will be trials and tribulations. It very well could be the very first step in the right direction for the total market cap of altcoins, or just the altcoin market in general, to start trying to work its way upwards and maybe chase some of those gains that we were seeing back in November and December. And so, of course, what we can see now is that, yes, we are still outside of here. We have still seen that breakout sustaining, but something's happening right now that's very important. As you can see here, the total market cap of altcoins is now coming back to do what's called a retest, where it's trying to flip this previous point of resistance into some support and then use this as step number 1 to maintain this breakout, to confirm this breakout, which is obviously very important. And so what I want to tell you a little bit about is what is happening right here, why this is so important, and what we can be expecting next. Now, what I want to do is I want to start over on my Twitter, which is my new Twitter, by the way. Feel free to go follow me at Tyler Crypto Talk, where I actually talk a lot about this stuff every day, even when I can't make YouTube videos. But what I said was, look, yesterday we saw total 2, the total market cap of altcoins, break out of the descending channel that it had been stuck under for over a month. This one right here. I said that right now we are seeing total 2 heading back to attempt to flip the top of that descending structure into support. Quite simply meaning that now that we've again broken out of this structure, which was a resistance point, we want to come back down and flip that resistance into a support point. This is called an RS flip, resistance to support. I said this will be a crucial step for the altcoin market, as a failure to hold support here could completely invalidate the breakout we saw yesterday, which is not good for crypto bulls. Watch the $1.46 trillion level extremely closely today. And the reason why this is so important, quite simply, guys, is because this is when you determine whether you have a breakout or a fake out. Let me explain to you the difference real quick for those of you who may be a little new here. So whenever you have a structure, let's just call it a diagonal structure like this, right? And let's say the price of your crypto that you're tracking is doing something like this. And then it goes up and boom, next thing you know, it for the moment breaks out of that structure. This is a good sign if you're a bull, because it implies that we may be making an upward move out of the structure, which oftentimes means that a continuation to the upside is on the way. So it's a good thing. But there are moments in which this breakout turns into a fake out. And the only way to know if you are seeing a breakout or a fake out, and a fake out quite simply just looks like this, where you were outside of the range for a little bit, but you re-entered into the range, which is usually not a good thing if you're a bull. And again, the only way to know whether or not you're in a breakout or a fake out is for a successful or an unsuccessful backtest. A backtest quite simply just means the price of your crypto went back to test whether or not it was going to go back in the structure. And this backtest being successful means that it would get rejected off of it and continue back in the opposite direction. A failed backtest means that it would capitulate below back into the structure, which is a bad thing. It's actually so bad that oftentimes cryptos will break to the downside in the opposite direction of the level in which they faked out of. And so that's why it's so important in a moment like this that we're in right now to see whether or not this is a breakout or a fake out. Because if we can see the total market cap of altcoins maintain support right here, it's a phenomenal sign that this is a breakout. And we may very well again be continuing to try to make this move to the upside over the macro. But if it's a fake out, the likelihood is that we will see this altcoin market start to pull back, likely heading back towards 1.42 trillion or even lower. And that usually does coincide with something like Bitcoin as well, more than likely losing $100,000 itself. So I'm sure you can now start to see why, again, this is so important that we're capable of doing this. The future of this market, probably for the rest of not only just this week, but what could be this month, really depends on what happens here. Now, sure, there are opportunities where this market may just start going down and coming up and going down and coming up and starting to do a whole bunch of disrespectful things to this resistance and support zone. That's possible. It's just not normal. And so with that in mind, I want you to watch this very closely. I don't want you to be scared of this back test. I don't want you to be worried about this back test because back testing is a very healthy and normal thing. It's something that you kind of want to see from this market per se. And I would say from multiple other indicators, there is a good chance that this back test does hold. For example, if we look at the 4-hour RSI right now, what you can see is that we are seeing bullish divergence. We saw the lows. We're seeing higher lows on the price while we're seeing this 4-hour RSI setting some lower lows. If we go out to something like our 4-hour Elliott wave theory, what you can see here is that from our more macro perspective, there is a decent sized chance that we do see this market continue upwards, that we do continue on with a 5-wave up towards the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, quite simply meaning that we could still be in the right structure to be able to see this back test hold and use that back test over time to continue up towards this 1.79 trillion, $1.8 trillion level. All of these things are very possible. So I don't want you to think that this back test is a bad thing. Matter of fact, if it is successful, it's a good thing, because what that means is that we've been relaxed. We've seen the indicators cool down. We've then seen them flip a resistance point to a support point, which is called an RS flip. We've seen a beautiful foundation of support established. And then the likelihood is that we'll over time try to use that support to continue upwards. Sure, maybe this lasts a little while. Matter of fact, if we go out to the hourlies, I believe we are, let's put on those Elliott's waves again. What you can see here is, yeah, there is still an opportunity that we still do have a little bit more correcting here. We just put in that 5-wave to the top side. We're coming back down for likely our A wave. So we might still need to back test, return to the upside, maybe even come back down one more time for some sort of ABC correction, and then use this macro support establishment to continue up towards those more macro levels. That is still very possible, but it's not a bad thing. It's not something you should be scared of. It's a good thing because, again, it means that we could be building that support, but it really just comes down to whether or not we hold this support or not. And that's why I want you to watch this chart extremely closely today. That's my homework for you. Watch this chart like a hawk, because it's going to be so important for what the future does look like. Now, I will tell you, I am going to be implementing a little bit more Elliott's wave theory into these videos going forward. And if you are one of the school members, I am working on a note guide for you right now. So try not to get too confused. I know it can be a little bit weird, a little bit confusing. I'm working on this note guide. I'll release it for you guys in the school very soon, probably in like a day or two. So stay tuned for that. And look, if you are somebody who does want to check out the school, what I will tell you is we designed the school for 3 very specific types of people. And I don't want to waste your time. So here are those 3 types of people. It's for beginners who are trying to piece together all the crazy elements of crypto. Okay. It's for intermediate people who are trying to develop their strategy. They kind of have an understanding of this crypto market. Now they want to start building a strategy. Or it's for advanced people who feel like they've plateaued in their skill set and they want to start adding those small little things that'll increase their win ratios. If you're one of those 3 people, we designed the school for you. And what you can actually see here is our approach is extremely simple. What we do is we take people like yourselves. We give them courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, signals, research, Q&As, content, much more. And we help you develop your strategies. Once you make your strategy, you turn that strategy into real life gains, money that you can put into your pocket. And the best part about it is, if we can't help you, if you don't learn anything, we'll just give you your money back. That's how confident we are. And of course, it starts as little as $5 a month. And look, don't just take it from me that people are making gains. Look at the gains: 2,000%, 31%, 100%, $7,000 gain on that one, 100%, 13%, 45, 15, and the gains go on and on. And the funniest part, guys, this is just within the last 24 hours. We've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars being generated in this community. And this is an everyday thing. This happens every single day. You can fact check me on that. If anyone who is in the school is watching this video, comment down below. Let people know how you feel about it. But again, the best part about it is it starts as little as $5 a month. There's also a $17 a month option. That is much better in my opinion. And so feel free to go check that out down below. If you are looking to start trading some cryptos today, you can use that BTCC link down below to get a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. That's also available down there for you. Now, with all the promo out the way, again, guys, where we are is very, very important. It's very, 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 very important what we see today. And if we're capable of seeing this bad boy hold support, maybe even it just, again, right, maybe as I mentioned before, if we do come back down, maybe we do have a little bit more of an ABC. Maybe we just put in that 5 wave, we come back down for that A wave, we put in that B wave, come back down for that C wave, build in that macro support, use that to continue the more macro trend upwards, maybe restart on the 5 wave. Man, we could be in a very good spot. And so I really want you to watch this closely. And as you guys know, I will be here every step of the way, updating you as this does play out and as these things do develop, whether it's here on the YouTube channel, whether it's here in the school, or whether it's over on my new Twitter, Tyler Crypto Talk. So feel free to check all these things out. Of course, this is my last day in Mexico, so I am going to be heading home tomorrow. So feel free, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you have been enjoying it. I am going to be in a bit of a better studio tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.